StreamYard says we're live. Welcome to Scruffy City Aquatics live stream. We are here on a Tuesday night, and if I could just click the right button, I'll bring all of us up. There we are. Oh, that's nice and organized looking. A lot more organized looking than my desk right now.
Or like the Brady Bunch and stuff.
Yeah,
Hey,
we have to do the.
Oh wait, I'm going. Hey,
Oh, hey!
I thought I saw you over there.
We can start popping
Evening,
out from behind
guys.
doors.
How are you
Good
all?
evening, everyone. Doing good, Mitch. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, Tanner. Sean, how are you?
I'm feeling okay.
Feeling okay. Well, now that the introductions are out of the way. Crazy evening trying to get ready. Glad to be here. We want to say, as we always do, as we always intend to do, we want to say thanks to everyone who is watching on the replay. Although we already have quite a few people in the chat, so that's awesome too. So I want to say hello to you as well. Thank you all for being here, whether you're listening later or whether you are in the chat currently, ready to talk about swaps and having fun with friends. Enjoying the hobby with friends. I see Nancy B in Tennessee. I didn't scroll up yet. So John was the first one in here with a wave. Liquid Zoo, OnlyFins. Hey, Matt.
OnlyFins. I like that name.
TJ
grab that.
Autocross.
What's up, TJ? Good to see you.
We've also got Cheryl. Thanks for joining,
Cheryl. I met Cheryl.
Yeah, I know. I'm really excited for y'all to meet. Cheryl has been a incredible member and board member of the Music City Club. So I was glad she got to meet all of the East Tennessee folks.
Yeah, it was a good time. I got to speak with Cheryl for a while. I think Cheryl won a couple of things in the silent auction. There at the end, she was hovering, making sure you didn't win them, Tanner.
I know. She kept me away from. She got the air pump that Kane had brought, which was, I think, a fantastic item for the auction.
There were so many people that were like, "Ooh, that would work for my fish room." And I was like, "Yes, it would work for your fish room." So, Sean has joined us.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I was just going to say, yes, there were a number of really great things there. I was really tempted by quite a few things myself.
On the auction table?
Well, just at the
swap.
At the swap in general.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, there was a lot of great items. I didn't get to walk around a whole lot, but when I did, I always came back with something. So did you guys had tables. Did you make more money or spend more money?
Oh, I think we made money. I had a lot of Anubias.
Yeah, I picked up some Anubias from Sean. But other than that, I went into it and I said, you know what? I don't need anything. My tanks all have fish in them. So I came out in the green on this one, which did not happen. I think I broke even the last swap because I bought a lot of stuff last swap.
I'm in a transition period. So I needed I needed a bristlenose Placo, and so I got one of those lemon Placos, blue-eyed lemon Placos.
Oh, cool.
From Rob.
Yeah.
I did a tour of his place, and he's got. I really like him a lot. So I got some of those, and I got some isopods. Some more quality. I keep just trying to breed those everywhere I can, but.
Now, do isopods require their own tank, or will they live with fish?
They can live with fish. Like, he's got them in this tank that's got like a turtle and all kinds of stuff in it.
Oh, wow.
Well, I don't. Maybe not. Maybe that's not the one. Maybe there is a turtle. I can't remember now. It's like the nastier the better. Apparently, they like wood a lot. I think so.
So kind of like
a whole bunch of wood in it, and we'll see.
Kind of like the terrestrial isopods. They just like leaf litter and wood and all that.
Yeah, I think so. like I don't know a lot about them, but I've tried to put them in a bunch of tanks and they just kind of disappear. And they could
Mm.
still be there for all I know. I mean, I've
Yeah.
got in this tank behind me, I've got a Raphael catfish I've only seen like 4 times. So
Yeah, some of the creatures they hide. I get excited
they do.
anytime I find in a mono shrimp.
Oh yeah, yeah. I love those things. They live a
Yeah,
long time.
they do. I've had some for several years, and I'm like, y'all are just hanging on here. And I see them about once a month, and I'm like, you're still there.
Yeah, I saw a couple of my autos together at one time. I'm getting to where I don't see many autos at one time. I used to have 7 in there, and I'd catch them all parked in the same spot,
Yeah.
but not so much anymore. I don't know. I'm producing algae, so I don't think they're starving or anything. I have had them a while. That's
They
another fish
love
I need to look up
diatoms
its
and stuff.
lifespan. Yeah.
Yeah, they're great for new tanks. Like I like to migrate them around sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whenever I start a new tank, is like I take all the Amanos or all the little all those little autos I've got in different tanks, and I'll dump them into one tank. Little
So
swim
how
together.
how do you recommend catching autos? I see the stores
Do it
struggle with them.
quick.
I've never had to remove one.
You
Just
just
ninja skills.
you gotta just work out. I mean, every day I'm just like
Just practicing.
just in case.
Autos are one of the fish that I'm like, once they're in the tank, they're
They're
in the
there.
tank. I'm
Yeah,
not. I'm not.
That's what I
I'm
was
not
thinking.
quick enough to catch them.
Yeah. When Sean says he likes to move them, I was like, wow, that's impressive because I don't know that I've ever, honest to goodness, I've had autos almost as long as I've had an aquarium, and I don't think I've ever. No, that's not true. I moved once, so I had to have caught some autos when I moved.
usually if you just put the net over where they land, and then just kind of tap the glass, they'll run the other way, and you just
There you go.
so you don't
Yeah, I
don't hit it
I, I
hard or
do
anything.
the
Don't give them a concussion, but you know sometimes even the motion of your finger kind of like approaching them and stuff. I'm not sure what they can see because they're like whatever
yeah
you can see when something's coming at you like that.
yeah. Well, they do have their eyes like right here, so who knows how far they can see.
Yeah, then maybe they got that like 360 vision where they can see kind of in front of them a little bit.
Yeah,
Sharp.
instead of that fisheye thing for a camera, we need an auto fisheye to see what we see. I see Ray
John,
Aquatics in the chat and B Wizzle.
yeah, and John says it takes Sean and his clones to catch the autos. I think that might be your trick, isn't it? You're just
Yeah,
holding
we're
out
just
on
like we're
us.
all over the place. I could get like 7 or 8 hands in there if I need to.
I think it was John that said, oh, yeah, here it is. Fish love to live with isopods.
I bet it's like a little like you want Taco Bell tonight? Yeah, sure.
Right. Oh, there's one.
They run
Got it.
across.
I was trying to catch up. Scuba Steve is also in the chat saying hi to everyone.
I'm trying to
Scuba
pull
Steve
it.
wants to know if
There we go.
John's going to a swap this Sunday. I guess that's the Bluegrass Swap.
Yeah, I believe so. I think that's this weekend. I thought about trying to do that, but that's a lot of driving.
Yeah, I've got some stuff I've got to do around the house, but I'm thinking about it too.
Where is it in Kentucky?
I think it's in Lexington, isn't it?
I
Lexington,
I
Kentucky.
don't know the exact location. Let's see if I
Here
can.
it is. Oh, it's in Louisville. That's a little further in Lexington.
Bluegrass
Not
is
too bad.
Saturday. Louisville is Sunday. Okay.
Oh, that's why. That's why I thought
There's
that.
2 this weekend. I forgot about the Louisville swap. Bluegrass is in Richmond.
Oh, okay. Well, I was completely wrong. Holding Bluegrass in Richmond. I see. Okay.
Yeah, I
Chattanooga
believe
Ed says there's some guy on TV that looks just like you.
Nancy B says she passed through Chattanooga twice this weekend and got a brisket sandwich from Buc-ee's. Thought of you, Ed. I also got a brisket sandwich from Buc-ee's in Crossville coming home this weekend. So that's kind of our pit stop heading back to Nashville.
I haven't been to Nashville since that was built, now that I think about it, because I have never stopped at a Buc-ee's.
Oh, yeah? Ed took me to my first Buc-ee's on the way to Aquashella. It was like if Walmart Walmart's too mean. I'd say it's because it's kind of like unlike anything you've ever seen. It's a gas station and an airport mixed together.
Yes, it exactly.
It's like kind of like airport sort of amenities, but a gas station.
You just have.
Oh, are we there? Did I drop off?
I think I might have cut out for a second. I don't know. I lost y'all for a minute.
It was weird. Like everything froze for a moment. But for a few weeks, I don't know exactly how long, we'll have the largest Buc-ee's in the U.S. in Sevierville.
Yeah, I saw
that.
The
largest in the U.S.? It's bigger than the one in Georgia?
It will be the largest in the U.S., but they're already building the next largest, the soon-to-be largest one in Texas, because Buc-ee's is from Texas, and they were not going to stand for another state.
They weren't going to let that go.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking forward to stopping and having that brisket sandwich. I hear a lot about them.
The Buc-ee nuggets were okay, but they were a bit, I don't know, it was kind of sweet.
Is it just like a chicken nugget?
And no, it's not. It's like a little puffed. It's like a little puffed. Caramel encrusted thing. I don't know if it's corn or what.
We always stop there because they have gas that's like 30 cents cheaper than anywhere. I don't know how they do it, but we stop and get gas there because it's so cheap.
Brisket sandwiches and Buc-ee nuggets. That's how. You come to go to Buc-ee's for the whole experience. It's like what's weird is it's the cleanest bathrooms I've ever seen ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do they have aquariums there though?
No, I did not see any.
They should.
Yeah.
The Buc-ee Aquarium would be a great exhibit. They would even take more of my money after that.
Yeah. If you could stop there and pick up some fish. Well, we didn't need a Buc-ee's this weekend though, because we had the swap, and we did a podcast. We did a live stream last week where we were just kind of talking about how to prepare for a swap, and this is just how to relax after a swap live stream.
Post-swap decompression.
Yes. Building up to the swap is a lot of work, and I constantly feel like I've got something to do that I'm not doing. And now that we're done, I can finally kind of sigh that little bit of relief and just be like, okay, everything that went wrong, and it's over.
Yeah.
It seemed pretty good to go when I got there. Did you have some challenges?
No real challenges. It went well. I can't think of any.
I was very
problems.
impressed. I was very impressed, honestly. I mean, there was a lot of participation in town, a lot more than I've seen before. And that's good. Like it's going up,
Yep.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate and think y'all did a fantastic job of organizing and pulling it off. I mean, the hard work and dedication that y'all had behind the scenes that doesn't, show up on the day of the swap is definitely should be commended. And I appreciate y'all doing everything you've done, Mitch, and the rest of the ETAA board.
Yeah. Huge shout out to JT. I don't know if JT's here, if he's listening. He's probably listening on the rewatch. But he was in charge of booking and organizing all the tables, and he did a fantastic job of that. We've tried to learn with each one and try to streamline it a little bit more and make things a little bit easier on us. You it's a baptism of fire. You learn as you go and just deal with, you know, what was funny is the very first one. I remember the night before because I'd been all excited and ready for it. I was catching fish and stuff and just, getting excited for the swap. And then it dawned on me right before I went to bed that, oh man, we're responsible for this thing. And if it goes bad, it's on us. And, but no, everything's went well each time. We were a little, because we had sold out of tables. We completely sold out of the floor plan we built out. We were completely sold out, and but we did have a couple people fall off, not able to come, and then we had a couple people added last minute, and so I think all in all we ended up with maybe 4 tables that weren't filled, but it didn't feel like it. It was busy. So I feel like we've got at least the fall, probably next year too, in that building before we have to look for something else.
Yeah, I like that location a lot, but it was definitely a lot more full. I missed the fall swap, but the first swap in last April, it was definitely a lot more full than that one, which was awesome to see.
I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
one thing,
It's cool that we're approaching capacity kind of.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, I guess I saw maybe 2 tables that I didn't see anybody, and then one guy kind of set up at one. I couldn't tell if he got
he
a whole
was
table or what,
he was
but
just late. Yeah,
but it was neat. There was a large selection of different things too. Like there's artwork and the plant lady was cool. Or the plant
Yeah.
trolley. Is that
trolley.
right? Oh wow, what a cool little trolley! I love that.
Yeah, it's really cool. They travel all over Knoxville and just set up at different events that are going on and sell house
Yeah,
plants.
is
It's really cool.
inspirational. It's like a food truck, but something else.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I had actually seen them at a grand opening of what was it? One of the Buff City soaps, the
Okay.
laundry soap and whatnot store. We had went to that and they were there and I ended up buying some plants from them outside. And I was like, this is such a cool idea.
Yeah,
hmm Thank you, John. Thanks for the compliment on how well it went. I know John also said I'm not going to find it, but he also said, "Oh, there it is, right there." And then one weird guy bought an extra table when he got there again, and that is something John does. He always ends up getting a second table, which is why we keep him where he's at, so that he has the ability to add a table there. He brings all of his stuff, and he's like, "Oh, I'm not going to be able to fit this. I need another one." Yeah, it did well. The only thing that I'm wondering, because I've never been outside during the swap, I wonder how the parking, how it is for people. I've not had any feedback of if it's hard or not to get in. Um, I know for the loading and unloading, it was easier to coordinate it in the 2 hours than it was
Mhm.
in a single hour. I don't know how we did it in a single
yeah.
hour.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't know how that worked for everybody else. I mean, it's a short walk, and that's probably the biggest inconvenience of the location is you park and then have to either walk across the park or walk across the street to get to it. But it's a side street; it's not like you're crossing
Yeah.
busy town road.
On that topic, I had talked with a couple people. I can't remember their names, but they had said that little, the parking area was completely full at one point. The road was full. They had to park a couple like businesses down and
Yeah,
walk. So they didn't complain, but they were like, "Wow, it's
that's awesome.
busy."
That's
Yeah.
good.
So I think the biggest inconvenience might have been the weather, but that's not anything in y'all's control. It was just a
Yeah,
rainy day. But other than that, I didn't hear anyone complain about having to walk to park. Most people were just excited if they're like, there's fish everywhere.
yeah.
It really
Cheryl
isn't too
says
bad.
Cheryl says it was packed every time we carried bags of stuff out.
Every time. And she means every
Several
time because
trips.
I think she sent Dauber out there maybe 5 or 6 times with loads of stuff.
Hey, when it's available.
Oh, yeah. And
it's a pretty short walk. At least they've got parking. There's so many times these things will go down and there's like nowhere to park. That
Yeah.
big circle up there is it's if you're there real super late or you're just real unlucky, you might end up on the very back corner of
Right.
or something like that. But you could always like pull all the way around, and so you got kind of decent parking on two sides going up a ways.
Yeah. They need to take out the center part and just make that all parking. I don't know why it's a pull around. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know. They could, I guess, but they probably don't need the parking space most of the time. Oh,
yeah.
only
I
when
don't
the
think
fish swap.
Yeah, is it the Lions Club? Is that right?
It is. Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that place is banging every. We should start a club there,
Yeah,
just
we
Saturday
could.
nights, and just be like,
Oh, you didn't mean another fish club. You meant
Oh,
kind
a
of
club
now.
and
club.
stuff. You know,
Now they have
The
a funny
Pecktec
story.
rave.
Yeah, a funny story. We had several people come in thinking it was the day for the fish fry.
oh,
Yeah, and they
like
were like, "It doesn't
what
look
you
like
do with
fried
it when you get
fish."
home is up to you.
No, this is sushi.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you have
but
to
yeah,
grow it out a bit.
and we even had one person show up to donate glasses, which is something they do there from time to time. So
Yeah.
Really?
yeah, and we were like, you can come in though if you wanna look, maybe you get
Like,
aquarium started.
hey,
Yeah. All right, I do have. So Sean did a quick video, and I'm a slacker, so I did not. These things happen, and I get done with it. And I'm like, oh yeah, I was supposed to get a video, or finally get to that last hour when you get a moment to stop, and I'm like, oh wait, the vendors are almost out of stuff. Now's not a good time to get a video. So, but Sean did an excellent job, and I'm going to pull that up. I,
I,
I've
I
turned
did
the
like make a crucial error in the name of the club.
I wasn't going to say anything. I've got you muted.
In the moment, I transposed aquatic and aquarium. I think so.
You know, it's easy to do. I would be lying if I didn't say I had done it. Or I'd be lying if I said I hadn't done it. I think that's correct. I don't know. Let me pull this video up. And I've got the sound off so we can talk while it's going on. I just wanted people to be able to see what happened at the swap, if it'll play. There we go. So this is the building. It's the Fountain City Lions Club. It isn't a nice place. It was wet. It was raining, but it's a nice location. The building's really good size for what we did. I didn't realize the fish sign ended up in front of the building. I thought it stayed on Curtis's truck.
Yeah, I actually didn't notice it until I walked out there to make a video and stuff.
Yeah, Cheryl did get a lot of pics. You shared those. I actually had thought about having those here. So when you come in, that was the club table and stuff, and then these are the vendors. You can see Sean's having to work around people. This is JT. We talk about JT bringing
Yeah.
driftwood.
That's all
Almost all
JT's
of
wood.
these pieces are $5 a piece.
I was very disappointed in myself for not getting some, but at the same time, I have nowhere to store it. So I'm a little bit pleased with my restraint.
I've just
I
cleared
didn't.
out a bunch of wood. I just spent like 3 months like soaking giant pieces. So I'm done with that for a while.
So I have a 20-gallon to fill, and he was like, "Here, you need this piece and this piece and this piece."
I bought a garbage can just to soak wood in.
Well, when
There's
it gets
some of
Pretty
those.
dedicated.
He had
and
some.
here's that guy.
I cannot remember the name of the leaves, but it might have been grapeseed that JT had. I got some of those. Those are fantastic so far.
Those large leaves.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't pay attention to those. I saw it just now on the video. John, your table looks like it's already empty. Are you sure you needed 2 tables, or did you just sell half your stuff already? I was glad to hear John did well. I know he travels a great deal and he likes to participate. Now, this is one of the local stores. This is Aquatic Marine's table. They did come out and set up and had all kinds of stuff available. It's kind of, oh, it looks better on this screen. Hopefully it looks good. Now, this is Crystal and her art. I
Yeah.
did get a piece of art from Crystal. She's been donating. This is Rob Ziegler's table. Rob has been on Sean's channel.
Yeah, I did a whole tour of his house. He's got some crazy fish. He's got what Sicilians. I've never seen those before. They look like little sea worms.
Oh yeah, those are super cool.
They're really neat, man. You ought to go over to his place and look at them sometime.
I want to say at the NANFA, I think the convention or whatever it was they went out collecting and they caught some of those.
Is this the blue eye that you picked up?
Oh yeah, probably. Well, I think I actually already acquired mine, but that's his brother probably.
Okay. I saw it and I was like, oh, and this is Kane, Keeper Kane. He had a table. He said he made half his money in rocks.
Yeah. Is that Steven
does
table?
Really good with Steven's table. This is Tanner.
That's me. That's the plants that I forgot plant weights for, so they were just floating.
You still had Buse at that point.
I did. I feel very bad about that, Mitch. I must apologize again.
Don't feel bad about that. I'm glad.
I had some.
Go ahead. My dog's barking. Go ahead.
Oh, I had some set aside, and then somehow it ended up on the table, and then it was gone.
That's all right. My mentality at these things is if I can get to it, I'll get it, and if not, somebody else got it, and I'm okay with that. So, not a problem. I'll get some from you eventually. I want to know what these are. Where did these come from?
Yeah, so my wonderful girlfriend, Gisele, is a craft connoisseur. Call it. She does,
right?
Yeah, she embroidered though. She does crochet. She does.
That's awesome.
Tons of stuff. Makes t-shirts, but she stayed up till basically till 4 or 5 in the morning. I think she said making these.
Wow.
Embroidered 2 different Bettis sweatshirts, and she was like, I feel like I want to contribute something, and
That's
did
cool.
those. And I was like, these are incredible. I didn't know
They
that.
are.
And I was very happy that a couple they both sold, but I wanted one for myself, and told her she's got to make me one. But
well, now you got your birthday present or something coming.
Yeah.
I saw the video.
You get to see her in a second because I'm going to pan up, and that's where you're going. She made these.
When I saw this video, this was the first time I saw these. They were gone by the time I made it back to your table.
Yeah. But she was not into aquariums prior, but through my bad influence, she is now becoming. She's now about to be up to 2 tanks of her own. So that is a win in my book.
Mm-hmm. I put Cheryl's comment up, but it covers you, Tanner. You were talking. I was like, that's rude. Cover him up.
You've changed.
But Cheryl says I went straight for the Buse, so that's where my Buse went.
Yeah, you got to talk to Cheryl on that one.
Jimmy P is here. What's up, Jimmy P? Good to see you.
Welcome.
I hope I haven't missed anybody. Yes, Select Pet. That's Steven, who was there. He is a regular. He comes to just about every meeting now. Okay. No, Cheryl, no problem at all. All right, so this is where we're going to point. Oh, if I can hit. My play button is hidden behind a wire. Yes, you drove over 4 hours. It is yours. I'm glad you got it, honestly.
Waving on my
There's
wife
Holly.
there.
Some regulars, Stephen and Juan.
those fellows are nice. They're always really pleasant at the club meetings and stuff. And
I'm
Tia,
always glad to see them.
Yeah,
Yeah. Now
me
Tia
too.
has a table full of stuff that I have no idea about.
that's
I don't know.
microalgae, she said. And she's giving a little spiel about it. And I was like, oh, okay. Just need to have you on my show.
Yeah.
She would be a really fascinating episode. I don't do a lot with saltwater, but yeah,
Yeah, I was very close to buying some and setting up a little. I've been wanting to dive into saltwater a little bit and do a macroalgae tank, but I just didn't pull the trigger on it, and I should have. But it's basically a saltwater planted tank, as far as I understand, which is cool in my book.
Yeah.
that is
I,
cool.
I told my wife because I came across your video and I was showing the video to my wife. And when you got back here, I said, "Oh, Tia's a good salesperson. He won't go buy this table quick." And I was right because she does end up talking with you about it.
Yeah, she's very passionate, very knowledgeable and smart, and I
Have
don't
you
know
guys
much about salt, but she knows what she's doing.
have you guys played with that concrete stuff that she makes?
I did at, oh goodness, was it Aquaticon? I think she
Did
had
I
some
drop?
there.
So it's kind of funny. It's pink in color, which it has to do with the fats and stuff that they use to make it, but it's like a aquarium safe concrete, like
Mhm.
quickcrete almost, and you can mix it up and put it on a framework. So like I had taken some of that diffuser screen and clipped it out in parts, and I made these little walls and things.
Hmm.
It was pretty fascinating. Did I lose you guys?
I think we might have lost Mitch.
Mitch, where did he go?
Mitch is known to have some internet connectivity issues on the stream. Oh, and he's back, I
But
He's
believe.
back.
am I back?
Yes.
So
Yes.
what's weird? I mean, I've gone several months now, I believe, without a problem.
Yeah.
But it might be me trying to do the video, and I don't know. My internet's not that bad. I've not had any issues recently. I thought we had it fixed, but but yeah, I could hear you guys though. I don't know if it connected over to the phone, which I use as a camera. I might be on the wrong thing. Do I sound okay?
Yeah, you sound good.
Yeah, you're good now.
It's perfect now. It just kind of glitched out for a second, and the
Yeah.
stream didn't seem to mess up at all. So
Yeah, so that's one of the great things about StreamYard is it won't drop even if the host drops. It'll stay
okay,
up.
Yeah.
So if nothing else, I can always go over to my phone.
And I think we missed him earlier in the chat, but I want to go ahead and say hey to Silver Creek Aquatics,
What's up, Silver Creek?
Ginger, welcome, and Vibes Aquatics. Thank y'all for joining us. Good to see y'all.
Yeah, good to see you, Zenny. And Vibes, Silver. Let's see. I don't know who donated the mangrove for the auction, but it sure made my daughter happy. So that was JT. He had it at his
Yeah.
table. I had a ton of questions. And I was like, I have no idea what this is, and he was busy. We were trying to figure out if it was salt water or fresh water, and everybody was like, "Just taste it." I was like, "I'm not tasting it. I don't know where it came from." It's like, would you taste your tanks? Because I think that's gross. I don't think I'm tasting them.
I
Isn't
have
that
kind
what
of
type of
accidentally.
water
It
is?
wasn't so bad. I took a
What
big chug of my 210.
You're 210. Yeah, I saw that. I was like, oh, and here's the thing. If you've kept fish for any period of time, when you see somebody take, take fish water to the mouth, you know what it tastes like. You get that feeling immediately.
Yep.
Well,
My
it didn't. What? It's not that it tasted bad. It's that I've cleaned the filters. I didn't want to be the filter at that moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd much
Um,
rather boil that.
yeah, Cheryl, it was fresh. I did have to go ask him. He was so busy over there that I never could get an answer, so I had to walk over there and
I thought
um,
mangroves were like a brackish, or maybe they can be.
it's
I
both.
They can live in salt, fresh, or brackish.
Really?
I think you just have to acclimate them, sort of.
Do.
But they're sort of a coastal plant and kind of live in swamps and also out in the ocean. It's really interesting.
Yeah.
I learned the other week that there's a type of basically a mangrove killifish that lives in mangroves almost exclusively.
Oh, that
And
would be
can
cool.
kind of lives in the habitats. It's pretty cool.
That is neat.
Oh, Coral Works says I almost vomited in the car the other day just remembering priming the canister filter on the turtle tank. Turtle tank.
Quick anecdote. The very first day that I was working at one of the local stores in Knoxville, I never knew how to properly start a siphon on a tank. I would always, pull with my mouth.
Especially at a store.
At a store, and not only at a store, but the saltwater invert section. So I got a mouthful of salt water on my first day, and I was like, then they walked over and they said, "Oh, you can start the siphon like this," and I was like,
"What?
You should have told me that."
That should be part of training. Period.
Yes.
That and never touch the lionfish. Those two rules should be covered, or those two things should be covered first day. I was looking. We've got Bill here. My chat moved. Bill Mayer's here, and then I saw the Nano guys here too. Welcome, Nano, aquarium guy. All right, I'm gonna hit this button and hit play again. Hopefully, it doesn't drop me. This was the plant trolley setup. Nice selection of plants that you don't always find.
A lot of succulents.
You stay busy.
Succulents are not my friend.
Me neither. My daughters have had some, and I've killed them all. I've killed them all. Too much watering. Even when I would get to the point where I was like, okay, you've got to be about dead. And then I water it and it just melts. It's like, what kind of plant is this? This is MB Bettis. He came last minute, absolutely last minute. He messaged me the day before and said that he became available and would like to come. So he had a great selection. My daughter Paisley did get her beta from him.
Awesome.
We also came home with a beta from him.
Absolutely gorgeous fish.
I was really tempted by him.
He's a really, really nice guy. I really enjoyed talking with him.
Yeah, I think he's nice too. He was at Aquashella. I've actually got some video of him. He's got like a kiddie pool that he puts them in.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he had the same thing. Yeah, and you can see a quick shot of Dauber and Cheryl buying some of their betas.
Cool. Lewis Reef, I've never got a chance to speak with them. I saw their name on the list, though. I see Razor Reef says the plant lady was super nice. So Razor Reef must have been there. Cheryl said, I come home with a beta from 2 or maybe 9.
Cheryl and Dauber breed a lot of betas, and we've got one of their betas that they've bred in one of our tanks, and absolutely gorgeous.
Cool.
I want one of those jumbo ones. I want one of the big ones.
Yeah.
And I want a 3D printer.
I don't know if it's a jumbo, but I was at Aquatic Marine today, and they have a male that is seriously like that big.
Wow.
It's the biggest one I've ever seen in person. Now that's vintage too, but its body, like the top of the head to the bottom, was like that big. I've never seen a fish that big.
It could be one of the, I think do they call them king betas?
I think that's what it was labeled.
Because I think MB betas had some of the king variety at the swap, and they were huge.
Yeah, they were really big.
We've been joined by Leone Areola and Gina's Reef and Aqua Gardens Inn. They are called giants. Okay, Cheryl says they're giants, and it's red too. Like it's a beautiful fish. I can see Cheryl turning in Bettis for BAP.
They look like the plaquette shape. I'm probably saying it wrong. I'm always
no. I know what you mean though.
But,
yeah,
but they're all that none of them are like with a fancy big flowing fins yet.
Right.
Somebody will figure out a way to interbreed them that way. But
so you were talking about 3D printing. Is that what these skulls and stuff were? They 3D
yeah,
printed that?
yeah, you can't do it with resin yet. So there's resin and there's a filament, like a plastic filament. Those are the plastic filament type.
Yeah, the whole 3D printing thing is huge in reefing. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Well, you can make all kinds of everything. Like you can make anything with it. But as far as fish safe, I bought a resin printer because I also do. I paint miniatures and stuff, so resin's really great for making little toy miniatures.
Yeah,
but it's not so. It's terrible for aquariums, so don't do that.
Yeah, I think is it PLA maybe that's aquarium safe. One of the filaments is.
Yeah, you can find you can get a filament that's safe. You could ask probably those guys or anybody you see selling it.
Yeah,
which filament it is, but the resin, like there's no safe version of the resin, unfortunately.
Now this is JKS. When I constantly say we have 3 established stores in Knoxville, like not box stores. And JKS is the third one. It's a smaller store, but they've always got great selection of plants and fish in there.
It's my closest store. It's down the street for me.
Yeah, I like every time I stop in there, anytime I go to any of the stores, I try to leave with something because I always need something. Even if it's food or I see a plant that I like, but they're great people too.
Yeah,
I don't make it in there as often because they're so far from me.
I like to pop in there every now and then. They always have a little something. They've got good plants. Like I usually have a decent selection of plants, and then and I don't do the saltwater stuff, but they've got a lot of freshwater fish too.
They do. Yeah, the store is about half as far as the area for the tanks and stuff. They have some dry goods and other stuff in the store.
All right.
But yeah, it was a great time. That was a great video. Thank you for getting that because I got nothing from the last ones.
Well, it's hard when you're kind of turning the dials on things and keeping things straight.
Yeah, I know the. I should have brought that up. The video went live today from the club's YouTube channel.
Oh,
I forgot all about that. But we did get some video. I wasn't a part of the recording of that. Robin and Jason did that.
I saw her walking around with the GoPro and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to check that out. I saw that it posted today, so I need to check that out.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to see it yet either because I've been working since I got home.
Yeah, that is the East Tennessee Aquatic Association's YouTube channel. And I might be able to bring this up.
Ed says he got some kind of weird plant from Tanner.
Tanner had a ton of weird plants.
I think Ed got the Hygrophila pinnatophyta or pinnatophyta.
The plant that's fun to say.
The Hygrophila.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite plants. It surprisingly, besides Ed, Mitch, and I think Cheryl, no one else was really interested. I was like, it's such a cool plant. Yeah,
I love that plant. I've had it and melted it, and I'm hoping I don't this time because I did get some from you again. What's funny is,
if it melts again, I've always got more.
Yeah, I'm going to figure out what it is because what was funny. Now I've learned since that it's not as easy as Curtis made it sound. But when Curtis first gave me some, he was like, "This is the easiest plant out there. You literally throw it in and it'll float around until it finds a place to live, and it'll grow." And mine just found a place to die. It was gone. So Razor Reef says, and the chat moved on me.
Let's see. Oh, Aqua Garden Zen is asking, is that the mermaid plant? No, the mermaid plant is Proserpinaca palustris.
Mermaid weed.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
that's a stem plant. Well, the hydro is also a stem plant, but
Yeah.
different type of plant.
Yeah. They're neat too.
They are.
They'll
Yep.
grow like crazy in the right circumstances. Mine all died out eventually, but it grew really fast for a while.
Razor Reef says before Aquatic Marine got their new planted tank, JKS was the best place to buy plants back when they had 100 baby angels in their 180.
Hmm.
They had great plants. Some of my first successful plants came from there. I think that was before I found Aquatic Marine, but that was back when Aquatic Marine had the old ownership. And Aquatic Marine's their new plant section looks good. I was in there today and I was just admiring it. I was like, ooh, I just filled the tank full of plants, but
Boy, Kenny is
when
always working on that store. Like
Yeah.
it looks a little different and better every time I
Mhm.
go in. So he really takes it to heart.
Definitely. I
does.
tried to make it by there, but I did not have time this past weekend. I need to, because I'm excited to see their new plant display.
Yeah, they've got a huge tank just as you come in, where the second the second desk, the second
Mm-hmm.
register, the old register that used to be the main register.
Yeah.
Right there, they put in a tank full of plants, and then there's also plants in the wall too. So
Oh,
lots
He
of
bought that.
options.
Did you see? He bought that giant biorb that was in there.
oh yeah.
I don't
So
know how
funny
many
story.
gallons that was.
Uh, I don't know. That thing was big. Like it was 4 feet across, 3 feet across.
Yeah.
I doubt it was 4 feet.
That was the biggest bio-orb I've seen in person. I didn't know
Yeah.
they made them that big.
So I saw Mark pulling it in on his wagon. I think he had a wagon this time, but I saw Mark bringing it in. And as soon as he got through the door, Kenny goes, "Are you keeping that or is that for sale?" I was like, "Well, he just sold something before he even got back to his
Yeah.
table."
And it sat through the whole last swap. Remember? He
Yes,
brought
it
it
did.
last time and it just sat
Oh
there.
wow.
Yeah.
I don't remember. He must have wanted more for it than I wanted because I looked at it pretty
Probably.
hard. I was like, oh, I
Yeah.
can make something out of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those
Slope pet.
bio-orbs are really cool.
I think they look neat, but I'm not thrilled with the way they filter, like the way their filter works.
Mm.
But lately, I'm just like, who needs a filter?
Doing
You
the
are on
old
that. You are on
You
that
could have made
trend.
just a freaking gigantic fishbowl full of rotala or something. It would have been neat.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. He was telling me I was talking with Mark about it later, and he was telling me that he bought it and thought he might turn it into a terrarium, and then they came
Mm.
out with a terrarium.
It was pretty
Um,
sweet.
mhm. So John says they do a good job with the videography. They do, Jason and Robin,
Yeah.
and Mystery Snails Guardians is here. Welcome.
Well,
And the Zen Ginger says my high grow pen is almost red on the underside in the CO2 tank with the prism light. It's
yeah.
already growing out of the top of the tank in 2 months. That's
That's
cool.
awesome. One thing that the hydro pinnatifida really benefits from, if you're trying to get that red color, is low nitrates. I did not find that out until the 120 at my work that I set up has. The plants have been growing so slow, and I'm like, what's going on? Tested the nitrates 0.
Hmm.
So but the hydro pinnatifida is growing slow, but it's almost pink. So
Huh.
if you're wanting to do that, I would try lowering the nitrates. But
Cool.
little sidebar.
Yeah, so Razor Reef's a local. We are spoiled with the amount of fish stores in East Tennessee. We have 3 in Knoxville and another 3 in Chattanooga, plus another 2 or 3 around Sevierville and Johnson City, and that's true. There's a couple up in the Sevierville area that I know of, both salt and Johnson City, salt and fresh. I guess Johnson City's mostly salt, isn't it? That's where all of the clownfish come from. If you've got
Yeah.
clownfish in the United States, they came through Johnson City,
Think
or
what
not came through. They were bred there.
sustainable aquatics maybe
Yeah,
is the name.
yeah. I mean, I'm sure some people get them from somewhere else, but from what I hear, they sell a lot of fish.
Yeah, there or ORA Aura. They do a lot of clownfish, and there's a couple other salt. I think on the West Coast there's quite a bit as well.
I've been meaning to tour there. It seems really neat.
Let's see. I'm gonna pull this video up. I got the sound off again. Of course, they probably just got soothing music going on. But yeah, here's the location. Fish market today.
Yeah, that sounds a little bit like you're gonna eat.
A fish fry.
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh man, I didn't realize how messy I had left the side of the table.
Oh man,
it's so crazy getting set up. The hats were new. The stickers were new.
Oh, I meant to
I
get
got the
a
hat
hat.
on.
I had to buy one.
I did mean to get a hat, and there were several things I meant to buy, and by the end of it, I was like driving home, and I was like, "Crap, I forgot to get all this stuff."
I know we were running late, and I was just like, I was in such a frenzy trying to be useful and get Holly set up too.
That was quick. I'm back. The dog got to hold something he shouldn't. So yeah, this is the auction table right here, and this is pretty early on, and you see we got a little bit of everything up for silent auction. We do the silent auction.
I never heard you giving that away. What time did you have the auction?
So they were at 11 a.m. and 12 p.m. And I didn't have to yell as much as last time because we had most people came and hung out at the table because I was recommending to people, you want to be over here for when the auction's getting ready to end.
Yeah.
That way you can put another bid down if somebody else. I got to come up with a better way to do that, though. It created some problems. I got to find a better way to do this.
It'd be cool if you could do it with a text or like on your phone or something so people wouldn't see you bidding or trying to outbid them and stuff, because I think people get a little jumpy.
Yeah, I missed the 11 a.m. I guess I came back, or I went over to the table after 11 and missed the first round. But looks like this here was I think they had quite a bit of killifish and
they did
some different plants. I wanted to come home with some killies, but I just didn't do it.
I don't have the list in front of me, and my phone. I don't have the phone, but it's a group. They call themselves a co-op up in Johnson City, and they specialize in killies.
Yeah, well, I saw one of the guys had the AKA shirt on, and I meant to grab his name, but I completely forgot to.
I believe they're friends with Cassandra. I think they found our club through Cassandra.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that wouldn't surprise me. She's got a lot of killifish going in her menagerie.
Yeah.
Oh, John's got some more bags in this video.
Yeah, Ed got some goodeds from him, and he's helping me identify my gooded.
John said he tried to miss so he wouldn't bid on stuff. A little PA system might be handy. My kids have a karaoke system. I bet I could use that.
That would work.
Yeah.
Or get you one of those little megaphones.
Zen Ginger, is that what was on the sign, Aquatic Market? I didn't notice. All kinds of plushies and deals. There were deals to be had. Did you see Kenny's sign that said you didn't have to have money? He'd trade for stuff.
No.
I did not see that.
He had a lot of fun. He was looking forward to it, and he was letting us know he was going to have fun while he was there.
Yep, he was walking around talking to everybody.
Which is good. It's one of the reasons why I wanted them to come. I wanted to try and get some of the stores to come and just spend time with people. I was telling them, even if you don't sell fish or plants, although I recommended it, even if you didn't do that, if you had stuff for your business and to be able to just hang out with people. But I think they all sold stuff too. I think they had a good time.
Oh, I think it's kind of dumb not to show up where the club
Yeah.
is, and especially where people are gathering to talk about that sort of thing and do that sort of thing. I think it's I wouldn't advise someone miss that
Hmm.
Yeah.
if
Definitely. Because, I
their
mean,
business involves selling these things.
because an event like this, you're going to find the most dedicated people to the hobby. And it's just, I think business wise, it's extremely valuable to be there and interact with, the people who are buying your products.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why
Yeah.
anybody wouldn't, because it's such a great. I mean, I could see where you wouldn't dedicate like a lot to it, like a lot
Mhm.
like an employee to go over there and sit and drag all this stuff over there and stuff. Kenny's going to have a good time and have fun and stuff, and
Hmm.
JKS I think probably turned some profit on the stuff that they brought, but I don't know why I don't know why you wouldn't want to at least like just kind of participate, in some way.
Yeah. I
Well,
don't know YouTube's rules for me playing a video from another channel on the live stream. It just hit me that that might be a no-no. I don't know.
well, ah, that's a shrimp painting. Oh, that's one of Holly's paintings.
Yeah.
Oh, she's going through the little bucket.
Yeah.
Uh, so the rules are, if we're commenting on it, you could actually do whatever you want. Plus, you're not playing the sound, so
Okay.
it's fair use. It's probably not
Okay.
helping them out a whole lot. We should skip it
Yeah.
around might be better.
That's what I was. That's what I was thinking. Is we could jump around a little bit and see. Um, Let me go back. We have that from Holly. Now these are magnets, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah. She brought a bunch of magnets, and she's got a lot of these art prints that she makes. They're reproductions, but they look really, really good because the
Hmm.
originals sell for sometimes original work will sell it for a little bit more than a lot of people want to pay. But we make really good quality reproductions and stuff that are affordable for a lot of different folks. And they get, I mean, and we can make them into magnets, little tiny mini prints, and like 8x10s, or even big things if you want it. But
Yeah,
it's
that's good to know.
it's fun, and it's a way Holly can take her painting thing and make it a business, is to be able to sell her paintings more than once.
Yeah. So I know Kane was telling me that he brought in a bunch of old dirty wood and he didn't think it would sell, but it still sold. So he had some good looking pieces though.
Yeah, he did. I bought some cookies from Kane.
Yeah,
I missed out on those.
They were fish shaped, and they were the first thing I had eaten that day, and they were delicious.
they did have some nice cookies. I like the little fish chocolate chip cookies. The
Well, this is just here. Go watch the video. I know we have the link up. That's just distracting me and I'm not going to be able to talk. Now, I know Eric wasn't going live tonight. I put it in your all's ear that we might go a little bit long if you guys were okay with that. If
Yeah.
you need to
yeah, that's
go,
fine.
I totally understand. But from what I understand, Eric Wyrock's not going to be going live tonight. So um, we'll hang out a little bit longer.
Cool.
Yeah, that works with me.
Cool. Um, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. I was
So
looking through the chat.
if you want to watch the ETAA Spring Swap video, the Zen Ginger just shared the link to it. I appreciate that. Thank you for doing that. So just click that link and you can watch the video in its entirety.
And they do an excellent job in the music. I always enjoy just sampling
Yeah.
the selections of the music that they put in there. I feel like it fits our club. It's kind of folky.
Yeah,
They do an
very good
excellent job with, the whole online, the YouTube presence for the club.
Hmm. Yeah. So as far as what did we get, let's talk about that for a minute. So
Yeah.
I was busy, so I didn't get a chance to buy a lot of things. My daughter got the betta. I should have gotten a photo of it, but I don't. It is a fairly large beta. I'm going to call it both beta and beta, and not because
Better,
I
better.
don't know which one it is. Beta, beta. But it's really cool. We've got it in a temporary tank right now while we get things settled for the 20-gallon, which is taking a lot longer than expected. But we did have an incredibly busy weekend, and that has a lot to do with it. Um, but yeah, that's on my to do list this weekend is to get that tank set up. I was actually looking at substrate for it today while I was at Aquatic Marine, and because I'm going to plant part of it at least, and then I'm also thinking I'd like to scoop out a section of the 75 substrate and put some Eco Complete in there, which I heard they're renaming. I don't know if they already did that, but
Really?
they were telling at the store, they were telling me they're now calling it Eco Planted because it is not complete and they can't call it that anymore.
Interesting.
So
That is,
Eco
I will say,
Planted.
that's one of my favorite planted tank substrates, just because of the sheer longevity that
Yeah.
you get out of it.
Now the bag says you don't have to replace it, and I was like, I don't know about that.
You have, well, this is just my opinion, but you have to supplement it. You don't have to replace it, but you
Okay,
have to add nutrients to it.
so
Yeah,
it won't
technically,
crush.
you never have to replace sand. It'll always be sand.
Yeah. So even if it crushes down to something very compacted, you still don't have to replace it.
Yeah, I've had, well, it really doesn't crush or break up at
Okay,
all. I've had some
that's what I
of
was
it
wondering.
for 5+ years now, and
Okay,
it's not crushed up. I just supplement it with root tabs
yeah,
because it does have a very high CEC, or what is it, cationic exchange capacity. So
yeah.
it'll uptake nutrients real well. It just needs to be supplemented with
It's a
nutrients.
it's a baked clay. I think it's like a clay,
Mhm.
it's some sort of clay product that has
Yeah.
it's 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 sort of like flat gravel.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of like gravel, but it's better. Uh,
Right.
that's what I had in my 57 gallon, and it went for about. Well, I had that, and I had fluorite, which is another one that
Mhm.
I never have to replace. It's a clay, some sort of clay product, and
Yeah.
it I had fluorite capped with Eco Complete, and it went for a decade or more, and it was still growing plants. So I was worried about the tank falling apart on my second floor.
Have you ever tried the
57
fluorite
gallons is a
sand?
big bet, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Have either of you tried the fluorite sand?
I have not.
I
I was
got
looking at it.
I got the onyx sand. I didn't like it very much.
Hmm.
Is
That's
that
right. I have tried the onyx sand, and I wasn't a fan.
well? It's like it left like a film. Is like I'm
Hmm.
not used to rinsing sand, but I guess you're supposed to wash it off or something because it left crap everywhere. Like it
Hmm.
left like a film on everything. That's why I initially filled up like my little my little island tank that I made last summer, and I was really disappointed in it.
Hmm.
But
Cheryl, yes, it is coconut. The beta. That was what she
I,
named the fish. And Zenny, thank you for checking or letting us know Eric's not going live.
Yeah.
And Select Chattanooga Ed says you can say either. Neither one is correct. That's
So,
intriguing.
Mitch, what else did you come away with from the swap?
So we did for some reason. My daughter kept coming back wanting money, and so she picked up. What all did she get? She got money wort, and she got. There was another plant that she got from Steven, I believe. Um, anyway, I don't remember what the other one was. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank. I know she was excited for it. And then I'd spoken with Crystal Sharp, who was one of the other artists there. She does they're not acrylic paintings.
Mhm.
Her and her, I believe it's her daughter who are doing those paintings. But they have brought paintings to our meetings and put them on the community table. And I was going to get one at the last meeting and missed it by like one ticket. The person in front of me got it. And I had made a comment on it, and she goes, "Well, what do you want?" And I'll make it. So I told her, "Hold on, I gotta get it. It's up here. It's not hung yet." I told her that I would like a painting of a orange Venezuelan koi.
Ooh,
That's
looks
pretty.
fantastic.
Yeah, I love it. Absolutely love it. So it's probably going to go back here
Yeah, that looks
where the
nice.
Chuck poster
Yeah.
is. So I got that, and then Tanner, I stopped by. Well, I got the hat. That was like the majority of the money I spent was the hat. The hat and the painting. That was most of my funds. And then I went by Tanner's table at the end, and he was like, "Here, I don't want to take this stuff home." And so I walked away with a handful of stuff, which we had talked about, what I would like to try and things like that beforehand. And so yeah, I got a ton of stuff from you, including that moss. Man, that moss looks good. None of my moss is that like bulky.
Yeah, that I think the majority came out of my 40 that I'm running CO2 and highlight on, and
Ah,
it grows super dense and compact.
yeah,
Because I remember pulling it out, and I was like, "There's a lot more moss than I thought was in here."
yeah. I started pulling it out and I was looking at it, I was like, my moss doesn't look like this. So what you're telling me is it's all going to melt back because I'm not
it
running CO2.
it shouldn't melt back. It'll just grow a little stringier.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that was everything that I got. Oh, and the wood. JT made sure I left with some wood because he didn't want to put it back in his truck. That's the key to these things. If you don't mind what you get, stay till the end, and that's when you find
Yep.
the deals. We lost Tanner, I believe. I was going to look at the chat. I'd seen um, the Paper Mill Aquarium store sells a soil called Mr. Aqua that is a lot softer and easier to work with than Eco Complete. I think that's the one Tanner and I were discussing off the live stream last week, where
Yeah.
it's all the writing's Japanese on it. I don't know that there's any English on the bag. And it was recommended to somebody in our club, and there is currently a chat with the chronicles of the uh, uh,
The the
murky
Mister
tank.
the Mister Aqua Saga is
Yeah,
what
but it
I'm
seems
Are
to
they
be
calling
trying
an
to translate
oddity.
the bag or what?
Yes,
There are
Cassandra
apps
did.
for that, right?
Yeah, Cassandra used multiple apps to try and translate the bag, and it's hilarious.
it. It
But
was funny.
but on top of because it doesn't make sense, um, so it's not a great translation. Maybe we're looking at the wrong language, but the person who used it like the next day, like she's doing large water changes, and the next day it's murky again. Which everyone who's used that has said that hasn't happened to them. Like they didn't even rinse it, and it didn't
Huh.
happen to them. So very strange. I
Yeah,
did go and look at that when Tanner and I were talking about it. It's like $44 for how much did we say that was?
it was like 6-7 pounds.
6 or 7 pounds. Yeah.
It to me, I did some looking at it. It looks very similar to a fluval stratum or the
Hmm.
Tropica.
Yeah.
Is it Amazonia or is it ADA that has the Amazonia?
ADA has that.
It looks very similar to
Fluval
those
stratum, and yeah,
soils that the kind of the volcanic that you can squish
Yeah.
like that.
Seachem has like a humate or something like that.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
looks very similar to that.
it's what I used on that tank we built together,
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah,
and that one I did. What was that? The convention in Knoxville called Fish
Aquaticon.
Aquaticon.
Aquaticon. Yeah, so that's what I built that a tank there too because I could get it in bulk.
Yeah. Coral Works says the fluorite regular sand is so dusty because it's fractured clay.
Um,
Cheryl says she has Seachem sand. Um, Zenny says fluorite sand is a beast to clean and it is not great if you ever have to move anything that is rooted. Ooh, I am notorious for moving rooted plants. So that's probably a bad idea. I'm not good at just leaving well enough alone. Coral Works says the regular sands are okay, but the fluorite sands are fractured clay that's crushed into a sand grain size, which is very high porosity and surface area, but also very dusty. Good to know.
Hmm.
I asked somebody at the store what they thought of it, and they said, no, get Eco Complete. Vibes
So
Aquatics is out of
EcoComplete,
here.
I think EcoComplete's got like nutrients sprayed onto it, so it's for a limited time. It's got they spray. I think they spray something over the top of it that makes it sort of nutritious short term, but then long term the clay will absorb nutrients in the water and be able to be kind of work like little batteries that the plants can tap into and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I liked about it. And then they were telling me at the store it also, because it's wet, you're not supposed to rinse it. It has nitrifying bacteria in the package with it.
Yeah, it's got some sort of substance that's supposedly like starter bacteria and stuff, as well as like plant food and other things. And you just pour the whole thing in. It's kind of weird because it's like quite a bit of liquid inside one of those.
Oh, wow. That's one of the things that I'm concerned about, because I want to do a section of the 75 with it. And so the 75 is already full
already going.
with fish. Yeah, so I don't want to mess that up and have some sort of ammonia spike because I've poured something into it.
I think it's inert.
That's what I've heard.
I don't think it'll mess with it too much.
Yeah, I've added Eco Complete to existing tanks and haven't had any cloudiness, or like it's really clean already. It's not like the Seachem fluoride that you just have to rinse and rinse and rinse.
Oh yeah, you can't really pour that through the water column. Like, I mean, you'd have to clean it to the point where it wouldn't be worth using
it. Yeah. So Coral Works says live bacteria in the water. I don't know about nutrients. Eco Complete is basalt, isn't it? Not clay. So I was told at the store today they have two different types. There's two different colors. So there's the black, the brown, and the reddish color. And they said the reddish color is basalt. So I don't know. I've not looked into it enough, but they did tell me that tonight.
Yeah, I'm not positive either. I was just going by how it kind of felt,
Yeah.
I stopped using it after a while. I got into the fancy soil stuff, so I'd only use like the fluoride strata, which is kind of the cheaper of the soils. When I can, I don't set up a lot of tanks or as many as I used to. So now when I do it, I'll spend a little bit more money if I can and get like the ADA stuff and things like that. Although I haven't had the best of luck with that stuff lately either. So
I would go ahead.
I'm almost in a not quite opposite boat, but I prefer the longevity of a soil. I've done fluval stratum, I've done the Tropica, and a couple others of those true like more soil types versus like a rock.
Yeah.
And I just haven't. I mean, they work well, but they kind of drop off after 6-7 months. That's just what I've seen.
I like to use them as a cap over other stuff. That's why I kind of do my like layers, because I want short term. I want a lot of growth, and then once it establishes itself, then it'll grow kind of in a different way. So kind of like short term, a lot of, but it oftentimes will make for sometimes some algae problems early because there's a lot of different things going on. But it's for about a year or so, your plants will be able to live pretty high and mighty off that, and then by then you can get it all stocked up with fish that'll provide nutrients and stuff.
Yeah, I like that philosophy.
Coral Works says you can buy sand like that too. Active Flora makes the live bacteria sand.
Oh.
I'm always a little wary of products that say they contain live bacteria.
Yeah.
That could be a whole nother stream, just because those bacteria have to have certain conditions to survive. If it's in a truck that's over, 90, 100 degrees, they're probably not in there anymore.
I always thought it was like, because the bacteria is kind of always there to some degree, You know, so I was wondering if it's more like a starter, like it's like a superfood for it.
Oh, that would make sense.
Have you guys ever kept sea monkeys?
When I was a kid.
I don't think I did. I
So
remember the ads in my comic books, but I don't think I've ever kept one.
so with sea monkeys, they have you set up this mixture, the saltwater mixture. You get like a little packet, and the stage 1 packet is supposed to be you prepping the water. But what it really is the eggs and everything also. And then they have the little step 2 where you're adding things. Well, that other thing that you're adding is just food.
Oh.
And it's like, and you'll instantly see sea monkeys. That's because if you follow the instructions, you're waiting 2 days after you've added the salt. And they sell it to you as like you're preparing it. And then now you're adding the sea monkeys, but then you put the food in and all the little things start to float around and eat.
Yeah.
So.
That's interesting. Sean, have you ever seen, I think they're called triops?
Yeah, I have a packet of them here somewhere.
I've been wanting to try them for a while. They seem so cool.
You can get them at Hobby Lobby.
Really?
Yeah, they sell them like kind of like brine shrimp in little packets and stuff.
Huh. I need to try those because they look to me like just little horseshoe crabs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
wonder
never
if
got
they
around
can
to
live
do
with
it,
anything.
but it looks fun.
I wonder if they can live with anything in our tanks.
Maybe some small fish? I don't know.
Could you put them in a shrimp tank? I wonder.
They might outcompete or compete with shrimp. I don't know.
I guess it depends on how well you feed them all and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Zenny says Sean is the reason I started using other additives below my aqua soils. His plants always made me jealous.
Oh, thank you.
And this is true. This is true.
Yeah.
That's what got me interested in or sold me on the fact that I should use something other than gravel. Although I like my gravel.
And dirt's good too for the people that want to do like maybe Dustin's or Father Fish or Wallstead. I guess Diana Wallstead's the real genius in there, but that's method also works really great, but it has its own issues, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
If you move plants, then I wouldn't do that method.
Yeah, I'm out.
But if you want to grow fantastic plants for cheap, 100%. That's the first tank I ever did was dirt capped with sand, and I grew the heck out of plants. And I was like, why do I need these aqua soils? I'm doing this on my own.
Yeah. So John says,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
John says I'm looking at doing a planted tank with some fancy soil by some company named Miracle Grow. I may video it. You should. That might get you over the 1,000. Speaking of which, if you all didn't know, John is like within 50 of 1,000 subs. So go check out his channel and see if that's something you'd be interested in subbing to.
Yeah, John is a very experienced aquarist that has a lot of knowledge and keeps some cool stuff, and is also an all-around great
ambassador for the hobby.
Yes, ambassador. That's the word. He is. If you will ever meet someone who would convince you to set up a tank, it's going to be John.
Yeah. Coral Works says, I would mix fluorite with Eco Complete personally. They're a similar grain size, but definitely different density, CEC, and everything. Eco Complete is a gravel, not a planting substrate like fluorite stratum. So, and I thought about that because I don't really like stratum's look, but I could put it underneath, right?
You could. It's less dense though. One thing I've had happen, it'll compact, but also it can like surface.
Yeah, it'll bubble up.
I've had that happen. I did it in a tank with Corey's, and it was fluorite capped with sand, and now it's fluorite above the sand.
Okay. All right. That's good to know. I don't know that I've ever seen that in a video.
I managed to cover it with sand, but only just barely.
Uh-huh.
And it was like I had a tank called the Escaping with Scraps Challenge, and I'd used some fluval stratum that I had, and I really didn't put a lot in. And then I got into watching Father Fish Like during 2020 when I was stuck at home, I started listening to Father Fish in the mornings while I was working out and stuff because he's just kind of fun to listen to. And so I was like, oh, I want to try just. I was having some problems with that tank. I was like, I'm just going to pour like 2 inches of sand on there and see what happens. Like I had these crypts in there. They're just like barely sticking out the top. I was like, we'll see. They grew out of it eventually and stuff. But
That's great.
But I found that too. Like in little sections, I just have eventually there'd be like these little puddles of black of the
As
of
it
that
works its
soil
way up.
kind of like because it's lighter than the other stuff. But
Wow.
That's how I have a 55 that's like that. It was I'm the type that anytime I break down a tank, I take all the old substrate and keep it and reuse it as a base layer in other tanks. And I capped it off with some beautiful white sand, that $10 a bag pool filter sand. Gorgeous. And then all of a sudden I was like, that shouldn't be up there. And then next thing I know, a week later, just not fluorite, but the fluval stratum everywhere.
Yeah.
I was like, well, you know what? I'll leave it be. It is what it is.
Keeping Aquatics is here. What's up, Keeping? And the Montezuma swordtails are still in the quarantine tank.
I am impressed by your patience.
They look so good.
I had actually was in the middle of typing out a comment and I didn't end up leaving it on your post on YouTube.
Yeah.
I was like, I was typing. I said, if it were me, I'd probably go ahead and move them, but I would keep them in quarantine. If I were you, I'd keep them in quarantine. Yeah.
Yeah. I posted the question, Sean, on my community page on YouTube, and I put where did it go? Where'd it go? Your new fish have been in quarantine for 1 week and they look great. Do you A, leave them in quarantine, B, move them to their new home, or C, we aren't allowed to discuss such things?
Somewhere between B and C.
They look so good.
What, you quarantine?
Yeah. For the 75, I do. If it were any other tank, I might not.
Yeah, I tried to quarantine. Every now and then it's like my quarantine is I'm setting up a new tank and
yeah.
first in with a bottle of quick start.
Yeah. Well, and when I get something from somebody that I know, and I know they wouldn't give me some, like Curtis. When Curtis gives me that bag of Corys, I just throw them in the 75 because I knew he wouldn't give them to me if they weren't doing well, and he'd had them for years.
Yeah.
So I felt it was worth the risk not to have to set up a tank for 6 Corys. But
if you're a PetSmart or something,
Yeah. I think
that fish probably didn't get that TLC that the local breeder might have given one before he gave you.
Mitch, I think that goes back to a lot of our conversation of watch, before you get that fish, watch it for a while in the store or wherever and just see if it's anything weird about it. And if it's not, most of the time you're probably going to be okay. And at least that's how I treat it.
Yeah.
That's reasonable.
Yeah. I watched them. I was checking out their poop the other day. Their poop looked amazing. It looked good. It was good looking poop. So that's my next shirt. I was looking at the poop the other day.
Good looking poop.
It was good looking poop. John says that you're lying about him. He says, but I might have convinced a few guys to start some clubs in my day too. And that is true. I have said this. I may not have said it recently, but John is an honorary member of the club because he is a key part of what got the club started.
Definitely. And there would not be a Nashville club if it were not for John. Yeah. There was many, many, many periods of me saying, hey, John, what do I do here? I have no clue what to do. Like, how should I do this? And he would have the answer. He's like, I've been there. I've done that. this is what I would do. You don't have to do this. And I'm like, dude, this is spot on advice.
Yep. Yep.
Very nice.
And this is exactly why John is good for the hobby. Just make that a Montezuma tank instead of a QT tank. Jeff Kane is here. Hello, Jeff.
Some folks like to gamble.
Razor Reef says they're excited about patio pond season. Yes, that is quickly approaching. The Nashville club's the May meeting is on outdoor tubbing. So if you're in the area, that's a good one to come to.
I'm looking forward to the season. I've got to do some serious cleaning on the micro pond. I also may have a preformed pond that may go in this year.
Very nice.
But I'll have to build a filter for it, which is very intriguing and fun to me. I'm thinking trash or a garbage can, do a little DIY type thing.
Rubbermaid
I want
tote.
to play with it. Could do a Rubbermaid tote. I want to do like a bog. I want to make a bog out of something.
The bog filters are incredible.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan and proponent of natural, the bog style filtration.
Here's one question that I have though. So in the bog filter, as the water rises and comes through the gravel at the top, there's going to be little pools of water. What keeps mosquitoes from laying eggs in that water?
Well, in mine, it sort of comes over in a little waterfall, and then that whole puddle spills over into the main body of water.
So the flow should be enough.
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
Yeah, they don't like really a lot of water disturbance at all, I don't think.
Okay.
So even like little dribbles of the water coming off the waterfall might even be enough to kind of keep them away. Plus, most of my plants are carnivorous, so they lay eggs inside of those things and eat.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's right. You've got the pitcher plants.
Yeah, those things are great.
Those are awesome. Do they survive outdoors?
That's
through the winter?
Same one I put in years ago. Like
wow.
I literally I just cut it off in the middle of the winter time when I do it right. Like I haven't done it yet.
That's
it's time
awesome.
to do it. If you wait too long, then the sprouts start coming up and you got to trim around them. And I think I'm probably already there. But like in the wintertime, you can just like chop the whole top of it off and it'll just grow right back.
That's so cool. Carnivorous plants have always been so fascinating to me. It looks like Nancy is going to finally be able to make one of the Nashville meetings. I'm so excited about that. It'll be great to meet you.
Mm-hmm.
And the Zen Ginger, in her wonderful ways, shared the MCAS Facebook group. So if you're in the Nashville area and you want to come to an aquarium club meeting, check out the Facebook page. That's our main way of communication.
Chattanooga Ed says I'm I'm going to be setting my tubs up tomorrow if it's nice outside. Awesome. It's supposed to be getting warm again, I believe.
It's going to be a nice week.
You guys might be able to point me in the right direction. I'm looking for 3/4 to 1 inch black PVC pipe, and I can't find it anywhere in Knoxville.
3/4 to 1 inch black PVC.
Black PVC is where you throw me.
So I found it for order. I can order it and have it delivered, which I should have just already done.
So Lowe's has PVC and spray paint.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
So here's what I want to do with it. I have my 20-gallon planter that I use as a micro pond. And I've got a little, I think it's about a 9-gallon planter that looks similar that I'm going to make into a bog waterfall filter to go into that, to spill over into it. Uh-huh. And I was wanting to take the black PVC and just build a small stand that was slightly higher in the back so it would spill over. But I wanted to be able to set the legs into my pond so that even if it's not strong enough to pour over and it has a little drip, it's not dripping out of the pond. So do you think I could still do that with the spray paint and the I mean, I know people spray paint their white PVC, but this will be out in the weather.
Short term, maybe for a quickie. if you wanted it to last, it had to be made of that like it had to be mixed in with the plastic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even then, it might fade with the sunlight. So I'm just,
But
but the
maybe,
idea of it
yeah.
being
So
black
you're just
PVC,
wanting the black PVC. You're building the stand out of black PVC, and you just want that.
To hide it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Hmm.
Yeah,
In
because I plan on
theater,
putting plants around it, so that being black would also help. Just not notice it.
we used to build theater sets, and anything you didn't want to see, you just paint it black.
Yeah.
And people just don't notice it. Paint it
Yep.
black and put anything else, anything bright in front of it, and you won't even look at it.
Yeah, we're getting close to the season. I might just go ahead and buy white and put it up white, and then when my wife's tired
You
of
could
looking
try
at it,
it.
I'll go get black.
That'll be worth it. You could
It'd
spray
be
paint
worth.
it, make your
Yeah.
prototype.
I mean,
Will
it'd be cheap or cheaper?
Will
PVC
the
's not cheap.
stand be entirely in the water, or for the most part in the water?
Just the two legs. So I'm thinking. So I'm. It'll be a square that the square would be like this,
Mhm.
and the planter would sit down in it. It's kind of cradle it, and then having the legs come off the bottom, and the front two legs would be slightly shorter than the back legs, so that it tilts it forward, and then put those front legs in the water, so that even if there is a little bit of if something happens and the water's not totally making it, it's still dripping down into my pond.
Hear me out.
Okay.
Spray paint what's out of the water black, and then on what's going to be in the water, take some moss and
I knew that was coming.
some string and tie the moss around the pipe, so that way the moss is covering it, and hide it with plants.
Yeah, I could do that. But the part that I'm wondering is if the spray painted PVC would hold up to the UV lights and everything, because it's sitting outside.
As long as you don't scratch, like it doesn't have a lot of like scratching on it, because
Don't touch that. That's my stand.
Let it cure really well. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, there might be some, I don't know, maybe like Plasti Dip would hold up pretty well.
That's what I was trying to. What's that stuff that they sprayed on the bottom of the screen door boat and
Flex Seal?
Flex Seal. I've got some. They sell that in a spray paint.
Is that safe for aquarium though?
I think so. Yeah, it's just rubber.
Oh. Well, then I need to look at that then. I was thinking Keeper Kane recently did some enclosures, and he painted / sealed the inside of it with something. I could look into that too.
I think I got Flex Seal because I wanted to. They make a clear type too, and I wanted to make like a little sealant to go to keep the off the metal parts that I used in the steampunk tank.
So a quick Google search says that the Flex Seal spray can be used in aquariums. That's a quick just typing it in and looking at the first couple links.
Yeah. I've used the kind in the can before, and it seems to be okay.
And which one was that?
Flex Seal.
Flex Seal. Okay.
And then Nancy is saying Krylon Fusion.
That's the spray paint that most people say is safe.
Yeah.
I've used it too.
Zen Ginger says Lowe's shows they carry it. They do, but they don't have it in my area, so I'd have to order it. And then when I started pricing it, black PVC, expensive.
I wanted clear PVC, like 2-inch size clear. It's super expensive.
Yeah. PVC has gone up crazy. Just
I wanted to make a bridge between my tanks so I could make like a hamster trail all the way around my living room.
Yeah. Ed says you could get that plastic black tubing that you put wires in and pop it around the white PVC. Oh, tubing. I got it. I heard typo. Gotcha. Tubing.
Oh,
talk to text.
Wait.
And wrap it around the PVC.
You might be able to get black conduit pipe.
But would those plastics be aquarium safe?
Most of the time, most conduit is I don't know. That's galvanized. You wouldn't want galvanized.
But you
That'll
can't do it.
rust.
You can do it. So Krylon Fusion's supposed to be some pretty tough stuff, and I see Nancy B saying will hold up better than Plastidip, and Ed is saying Krylon Fusion won't scratch like the other because the others are soft.
What you might want to do if you do spray paint it, just get a little bit of sandpaper and kind of go to town on those legs and scuff them up a little bit.
Okay.
And then it'll work for a long period of time.
I
and
may
let
try
it dry
that
really thoroughly too.
Yeah, because I mean, I can get it. Literally, would just take one long piece of PVC pipe. Because I don't know the exact dimensions. Because it's really one of those things I'm just going to have to piece together to see when I put everything together. But I mean, I'm thinking less than 24 inches on the legs because there's no way it might be a little bit above that, but I'm looking at 8 24-inch pieces about. So I should be able to do it fairly easy. I may just try the white once I get the 20-gallon set up. I got to do that first. So we are getting. My clock disappeared on me. What time is it? I got to watch. I can check my watch. It's about 10:38. You guys didn't talk about what you got.
Oh, right. Yeah, we can talk about that. Then I probably need to hop off.
Yeah, I'm going to have to before too much longer too. So sorry.
So I did not come away with a lot from the swap, which was semi-intentional and was very difficult to do because there was a lot of fantastic stuff there. But at the current tank situation I'm in, I've basically got everything stocked and have already everything planned out. But I did come away. I got a absolutely beautiful piece of Anubias from Sean that is going in the it's not in there yet, but it's going to go in the 120. Honestly, it might be one of the centerpiece plants because it's beautiful. What else did I get? I got a lotus seed pod from John. I'm starting to get more into the botanical world. I've been doing my catappa leaves, my alder cones, and all that stuff with some apistos, which has been fun. And then I got some I think John said it earlier in the chat, some sea grape leaves that JT had.
That's what he said.
Sea grape.
I saw that.
So those are really cool. They're like a much bigger leaf than your catappa leaf, but also a lot thicker. So supposedly they last a lot longer, which will be cool to use them more as a decor piece. And then we also, I think the last thing we came away with was a betta from MB Bettis. That was beautiful. I want to say he's a platinum white crown tail. So I think the type he is. I'm doing a quick. No, crown tail's is it half moon? I don't know my bettas.
I don't either. I can't tell you what we got.
Yeah, okay. It's more of a half moon.
That's what we got. What you got is what we got.
It's a very almost solid white. So he's going to be in his own little tank. Right now he's in a temporary breeder box. But I think that's it. That's what I came back with.
Before Sean goes through what he got, Not Al Aquatics, welcome to the chat. We're talking about the recent swap we were at. And George RV3, welcome. Good to see you. All right, Sean, what'd you get?
I got some aquatic isopods and a blue-eyed lemon pleco from Rob. And I got I got a betta kind of at the end of the show. I was just given one.
From Steven?
Yeah. Or who was the fellow next to you, Tanner? Or is that Steven?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was
with the
Steven.
Glasses.
Yeah, he was real nice.
Yeah, he was.
Is he local? I don't remember seeing him. Well, maybe I can't remember if I saw him at the club or not. I guess so distracted with all the people.
it is tough. There's a lot of months I don't get to talk to half the people I mean to. Stephen is local. I think he's Johnson City or
Okay.
He's maybe Jefferson City.
Yeah. He seemed
Wherever
like a real nice
the
fellow.
clownfish come out of, he's in that area.
I
I
got a
think that's
veil tail
Jefferson
from
City.
him that's just absolutely gorgeous, and I put it in my no filter aquarium
Oh,
where
cool.
he'll be nice and warm and have no flow. I was worried
Yeah,
he wouldn't get along with the flagfish and stuff, but everybody's doing fine in there.
awesome.
So far so good.
It was such a fun time, and one of the hardest parts about the swap is waiting for the next one.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
But
of
we'll be
course
planning it soon.
immediately I brought it. I'm sitting there. I'm clipping Anubius, the night before. I'm like, well, how much am I going to bring? I'm like, well, let's see, enough for a board game.
Yes.
I took my plant money and immediately walked across the
Yeah.
street with Ed to Sci-Fi City and bought board game stuff.
I've never been in there. I need to. I've been working on trying to figure out how to carve a fish. This is one of my failures, but I learned a lot with it because
Looks
I would
nice.
like to bring them to the swap and try to sell some.
That would be very cool.
Yeah.
I
So this
think
was
we
supposed to
need
be a,
it was
a
very
library.
nice. It was very nice to see, and I think we need more of it to continue. But fish art and
Yeah.
fish accoutrements, just t-shirts and sweatshirts and plushies and all that. I love seeing that because I need more fish, not more fish to take care of, but a
Right.
fish that I can sit on the shelf.
That was really interesting too. Like when Aquatic Marine brought in a whole bunch of I guess fish swag.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, in between Holly and the other artists there that had really pretty pictures and stuff. It was a lot of good to decorate with and
Yeah.
wear and all kinds of stuff. And the clothes, like your girlfriend, the
Yeah.
embroider, hey, little things like that all over the place. Where it was really nice.
Yeah, it was. That was something I had not seen often before.
Yeah. Yeah, we're trying to think of ways like the plant trolley. That was one of those things where last last time we had an open table or a few open tables, and I was trying to think what's a business that I could bring in that we could try, and it just clicked. I was like, I think I was on watching a live stream, and somebody was talking about house plants and tanks, and I was like, oh yeah, that's perfect. Um, and they were very open to the idea, and we were talking about like what should they bring and stuff. I was like, if you have anything that likes to have its roots wet, that's what will do really well. It's like there'll be other things that will cross over that people will like, but we love to put plants in our tanks to eat up nitrates.
I wonder if there are like insect folks or something,
Yeah. Well, and
entomology
yeah,
clubs or
we've talked
something.
about that a little bit behind the scenes. I think one of the things we discussed possibly doing is, there's that back room that we don't use.
Mm-hmm.
We may put all of the corals back there and turn the lights down, and that
Oh,
would free up some space in the main, but also give a better space to see corals.
That would be neat.
Yeah, so we may do that, and we've also talked about using it for, maybe move the auction back there, maybe do some, lots of ideas, lots of ideas. We'll come up with something. We'll do something. But yeah, I love having the different stuff in it, not just being fish, um, other stuff around the hobby too.
Be a one room haunted house. Do it in October.
You know
You
what?
just go
It's
to the door
October.
and boo!
fish are jumping out.
We'll have to find some sort of scary fish costume.
Ick.
Just slap them with pasta as they go through. Ah,
No, no,
tentacles.
no. I got it. They walk in the room and we just throw duckweed at them.
Sprinkle it in all their fish bags.
You've been duckweed. All right. I think we're going to call it a night. I got to get up in the morning. I know you guys got to get up in the morning, but thank you both. Sean, thank you for
Yeah.
joining us. It's
Thanks for
always
having me.
fun. Always fun. I don't get to talk with you enough. I tell you this all the time. Like at the club meetings, everybody's so busy. But it's so much fun to get to sit and talk with you. I talk with Tanner every week, and I treasure getting to talk with Tanner every week. But
Oh,
we
both of you are great guys, and I'm happy to come talk whenever you want. So just let me know.
Awesome. All right. Well, with that, I think we'll say good night and enjoy your tanks.
Good night, everybody.